You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real. As Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. Dr. Johnson, you were in the meeting today with Michael Bloomberg. How significant was this audio and also his past support of Stop-and-Frisk when he met with the faith leaders today in New York?
Yeah, we met with him on yesterday. It was a great meeting. Let me just say, I am not a one-issue voter. I was well aware of this particular YouTube clip because I've researched all of the candidates, and none of the candidates are perfect. All of them are flawed. And I knew about this particular audio clip, but that did not discourage me from giving Bloomberg a fair shot. And when I look at what is my number one priority is to make sure that Donald Trump is no longer president of the United States of America. The reality is that we all have to make decisions. And I made a strong decision by looking at someone who had the best campaign operations, somebody whose presidential plan aligned with my values and what I believe in. But also, I had to look at some critical issues, particularly stop and frisk, because that's something that I have been strongly against. I have been out there with so many activists, Al Sharpton, when I was there in New York City, marching with Dr. Calvin Butts. But when I look at the totality of the record, and when I know about what Bloomberg has done with the Abyssinian Baptist Church, when I served as assistant pastor, and when I look at his record as a whole, and the fact of the people who are black and brown who are part of his campaign, there is a reason why we need to support Michael Bloomberg. I'm telling you, Joe Biden is done. Elizabeth Warren is done. And when we look at this general election, there has to be somebody who's going to go toe-to-toe, who's going to tell it like it is, and who is not going to hold any punches and make sure that Donald Trump is not elected again. We have a critical issue that is before us, and that is getting rid of Donald Trump. And I'm not going to sit up here and to just vote for just anybody, but I'm going to vote for somebody who's going to get the job done.
Now, was that meeting with the pastors? First of all, so you've endorsed Mike Bloomberg. What was yesterday's meeting a group of pastors who have endorsed Bloomberg, or was it just a faith meeting?
It was a meeting that was actually called last week. We were reached out to by the campaign, asked to come to meet with Mike Bloomberg. What happened yesterday would just happen in real time. We were hearing about everything that was taking place in real time, like everybody else. The video had surfaced, the audio clip had surfaced. And so there were some people who were not on board. There were some people who were on board. I was one of those persons who I had read everything about Michael Bloomberg, his plan, et cetera. Of course, I knew about stop and frisk. That was not an issue that prevented me from going to the meeting. But I actually made a decision at the meeting while everything was breaking loose, because I actually heard and met with Michael Bloomberg myself. This is not the first time I've met with him. I met with him before. But to meet with him under these particular issues and to begin to deal with critical issues that are important to us, I made a decision, and I told the campaign, I said, listen, you're in a battle right now. This is probably going to be the worst day of your campaign today. I said, because of the firestorm, I said, but I'm in. I said, I'm in because I believe in his Greenwood initiative, $70 billion that are going to be invested in our communities, helping at least 1 million people become homeowners. When you begin to look at the totality of what Michael Bloomberg has proposed, Joe Biden hasn't done that. Pete Buttigieg hasn't done that. Elizabeth Warren hasn't done that. And so we can have the debate all that we want. But what I'm very clear about is that Mike Bloomberg is the person who can beat Donald Trump. And Mike Bloomberg is the person who I believe has a plan for Black America.
So I got to ask you this here. That was a statement that was released, and it said that from the campaign, it said that in response, the African-American faith leaders in the meeting issued the following joint statement. So did all of the pastors who were in that meeting agree to this particular statement that the campaign released?
If you look at the statement at the end, all of the pastors whose names are listed, they signed on.
So where it says attendees at the meeting included and lists all of the attendees, all of those pastors signed on to that particular statement earlier.
All of the pastors who are listed, they went around and asked people, do you want your name? I was actually the one. Let me just be straight with you. I was the one who called for the statement. I was the one who was a part of writing the statement with the communications person for the Michael Bloomberg campaign. And every pastor whose name is listed, they had to say that they wanted their name listed. This was not the Bloomberg campaign just putting people's names there. Those pastors agreed to have their names listed, and I am one of those persons.
And the statement was, go to my iPad. While Donald Trump was calling Mike Bloomberg a racist, Mike was continuing his conversation with African-American clergy from around the country. He expressed regret over his past insensitivity regarding policies like Stop-and-Frisk and showed a continued interest in restorative justice. To be clear, none of us believe that Mike Bloomberg is a racist. Actions speak louder than words, and Mike has a long record of fighting for equality, civil rights, and criminal justice reform. Pastor Johnson, we certainly appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment. All right, folks, are you looking to enhance your leadership or that of your team in 2020? If so, you should join Dr. Jackie Hood Martin's newest online course and mastermind group, How Successful People Think. She will be your guide as you learn timeless leadership principles to apply to daily living. The offer expires February 28th. To register or start the online course, go to www.live2lead.com/Leesburg. That's live, L-I-V-E, the number 2, LEAD.com/Leesburg. You see the website right here. So just go there. Trust me, so if you're looking to develop your leadership skills, this is exactly what it is that you want to do. Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video. You want to check out Roland Martin Unfiltered? YouTube.com/Roland S. Martin. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real. It's Roland Martin Unfiltered. See that name right there? Roland Martin Unfiltered. Like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Roland S. Martin. And don't forget to turn on your notifications so when we go live, you'll know it.